Gacha game collaborations have a miserable reputation, and that is for a reason. As somebody who has been in this genre for way longer than I'm proud to admit, I would say that view is justifiable. Most of the time, it is just introducing new collab characters you can pull on the banners, or at the very least, you're just going to get skins. They will come up with some events to make you play the game more, and well, that is basically it. Most people like me come into these games expecting the absolute bare minimum. And to be honest, before all the trailers and the teasers, I felt that way towards the Wuthering Waves and Cyberpunk Edgerunners collab. But boy oh boy was I wrong. Like, oh my god, completely off the mark. Because what I expected to be a 6 to 7 out of 10 collab was actually a genre-dominating event that not only brought together audiences from both medias, but also became a conversation throughout the whole internet. It was trending on social media, and the game charted to the point where it reached a whole new peak player count. How did a collaboration achieve all that? This situation didn't just put Wuthering Waves at the top, it also became their legacy. The biggest gacha game collaboration of all time. If you want to see more content from me, feel free to smash the like button and subscribe. Hit the notification bell icon to keep up with my videos. Without wasting any more of your time, let's get it rolling. Now, first of all, let's talk about why people have this perception that most gacha game collaborations are lazy. Well, if we're going to get into the bare bones of it, the reality is really just that simple. It feels like these developers just don't care. How do the collab characters fit into the story of the world of the games they go into? Who cares? Just open up a portal in the sky or something, and the characters just walk out of it and magically want to work with you as allies. They're gonna fight together with your team, and then after the update ends, everybody's gonna forget about them. Well, not everybody, actually. The devs are gonna be bathing in the mountain of money they got from the very blatant cash grab. Even in the execution of it, they're gonna be so incredibly half-assed sometimes. It is actually so shameless. But that was the status quo. That is just how it is, especially in the live service gacha game genre. So as players, we really don't have a choice but to just accept it, no matter how low effort these events are. I mean, what else are you gonna do, right? But Kuro Games, for whatever reason, doesn't want to do that. The effort and care they put toward their collab is actually absolutely staggering. So much so that they made an entire event that it feels less like the usual cash grab tactics and more like an OVA of Cyberpunk Edgerunners, like an episode of the anime that honestly we deserved but never got to see. The concepts were so fluid that it almost doesn't make sense how they managed to pull it off. The transition and the injection of the collab characters into the world of Solaris 3 were so completely seamless that it genuinely felt like Lucy and Rebecca belonged in this world. They integrated the entire cyberpunk universe directly into the actual lore of Wuthering Waves so naturally that you start believing these two worlds were always meant to be connected.
Cyberware.
Oh, he recognizes it immediately.
There's modifications for Exodus work.
Oh my god, it's integrated into the story. Ooh, it's so good.
The style is different from what you see in an artificer.
It is insane how it was very clear that they were so different from the other characters, but at the same time, they interacted so naturally. Where other devs would just copy and paste old assets to recreate Britain, Kuro Games made an actual mini version of Night City inside of Wuthering Waves. Baffling, isn't it? Like, looking at what we have gotten so far, this is just, I don't know, I'm speechless. Now, coming from me, as someone who has played a lot of Cyberpunk 2077 and finished a lot of Cyberpunk Edgerunners, my experience with the Wuthering Waves collab was extraordinary. Like, I'm telling you, without me having consumed the game and the anime prior to playing Wuthering Waves, I wouldn't have had such an incredible time. When I walked into the quest zone, I immediately geeked out like a kid in a Lego store. Oh, whoa! Holy shit! That's Item Smasher! I noticed a lot of references. That moment where we entered the cyberspace, like the place genuinely looked identical. And the writers didn't just do surface level skim of the cyberpunk lore either. They dropped heavy, deep cut lore references that only actual real fans would catch.
Don't make a name for yourself by how you live, but by how you die.
That is a line constantly repeated in both the anime and the games. It reminds me of the bar in the game called the Afterlife, where you only get a cocktail named after you once you have established a massive reputation and died a legendary death. Like literally.
What can I get you?
You order.
2 tequila old fashions with a splash of cerveza and a chili garnish.
Duo of Johnny Silverhands coming up.
Right on, chica.
Say I wanted a drink named after me. What would I have to do?
Snuff it. Mind-blowingly spectacular fashion. Mid-op would be best.
What a beautiful tradition.
After you play the game or watch the anime, this will be one of the many things you remember afterwards, just because of how much they nailed the philosophy down on you. When you walk around, you will see references to so many other things. An advertisement board that has Yorinobu Arasaka on it, who is one of the main villains in the game. You will see the name Delamain, which is the taxi service in the cyberpunk world. You will hear someone mention 𝗖cie𝗽𝗆𝗵𝗁, who is an idol also in the cyberpunk world. A very big deal one at that. She is like the Justin Bieber of the cyberpunk universe, one with arguably much more mental illness.
You strangled him, Lizzie. Slowly. You crushed his spine.
I was angry. I must have lost control.
Guy got what he deserved. So, this is about the body, right? That's why you called?
Yes, the media can't hear about this. Got it? That would be... Oh.
Huh?
The world would eat it up. A tale of the temptation to control another's memory. A grim reminder that a person is merely a collection of bytes that can be copied, reproduced.
Lizzie, snap the fuck out of it. What about the body?
I don't know. Do whatever. Take it somewhere. Burn it. I'll pay you.
Okay, I'll take care of it. You sleep soundly now.
You can hack vending machines with the hacking gadget you got, and there is one that talks, giving a heavy reference to the talking AI vending machine in the cyberpunk game.
Hey there, stranger! I'm Brendan, your friendly neighborhood SCSM, and the nicest AI in all of Night City. You can select from a wide range of beverages, or just drop by for a chat, anytime. Now it's your turn. What's your name?
Even Mr. Blue Eyes got a mention, and he is so mysterious in-game that most of his lore is just theories. Like even he got mentioned in the collab. Only real fans would catch that. They even nailed the little things, like the skip feature being tinkered to be the one in the cyberpunk game. The loading screens, the transitions, the puzzles, everything you could ever think of, other than actually having sex with other characters. It shows a level of respect for the source material that you just don't see in this industry. Proving that it's not just one guy on the development team who cares about the cyberpunk IP. I think the whole Kuro HQ are just big fans. They actually play the game, they watch the show, and they cared enough to build a genuine narrative event instead of just chasing the bag. And that care really shows, specifically in how it stays true to the way of the cyberpunk world. Have you heard of this sentence before? There are no happy endings in Night City. That is not just a sentence, that is a community agreement regarding the media of the whole franchise. In the game, in the anime, you think you're gonna get a good ending, a happy one in fact, but no, there is always a catch. A catch that most of the time arguably outweighs the good parts. An example is in the ending of the anime. Lucy, one of the main characters, achieves her lifelong dream of going to the moon. Sounds like a good thing, right? But what makes it not entirely a good ending is that she arrives there completely alone. And in the process of going there, her entire crew and the love of her life die brutally because of someone who gives her lifelong PTSD. Yeah, it's tragic. And like I said, it is an ending where the bad outweighs the good. And well, this kind of narrative is collaborating with a gacha game. And I don't need to tell you this, but most gacha games like to play it safe, with the power of friendship and blah 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 love. They have incredible plot armor to make sure that even the most insane events results in nothing going wrong. wrong. In most circumstances, characters never actually fully die. It is always implied that somehow they will be back. At the end of the day, the good guys will always win, and everybody is happy. In this collab, Wuthering Waves was expected to do the same. We all knew that Kuro Games was going to deliver cinema, but what we didn't expect was that Kuro Games actually has balls. In the conversation between David and 𝗖cie, I was fully expecting these characters to deliver lines that were cliche about how love conquers all, or how he is always going to be with her in her heart. I will never leave you again, 𝗖cie. Oh my god, David, you're so brave. Only because you're here. And then David becomes a spirit and becomes her guardian angel or something like that.
Who are you? My guardian angel?
But the reality in the game is that David calls her name and then gives her the hard, brutal truth.
Lucy.
He's gonna leave her again.
No.
I'm just a dream.
Why would you have to say it like that? She already knows.
It's real enough. It's real enough. It counts. It counts. Come on. Come on, David.
Time for you to
No,
wake
it's
up.
never time to wake up. It's never time to wake up.
Shut up. Let her have her piece, okay?
But I still have so much to
I can't even process my emotions because of the amount of disbelief that I'm currently in.
Give him a bit of time, bro.
I know. Me too.
That's fucked up. Wow.
But you don't need to hear the words of a ghost. Not anymore.
It's harsh. It caught me completely off guard because he doesn't want her to live in the past. He wants her to move on. This is the reality. I'm dead, but you're still alive and you need to move on. Rebecca also says something similar. Don't grieve over me. Don't give me that look. I am not good with those kinds of feelings, but promise me when you wake up later, you will take care of yourself. She refuses to let 𝗖cie just give up on life. She also wants her to move on. These are not the things that you want to hear. These are the things that 𝗖cie needs to hear. It completely subverts the usual garbage writing we are used to in these seasonal events and acts as a continuation of the anime. An episode we never got closure. We never got closure. And as much as the devs of the Cyberpunk IP wouldn't actually confirm whether this is canon or not, I don't care. Because to me, this is my headcanon, and my headcanon is the only canon. Whether you think that this is considered a happy ending or not is entirely up to you. It is very much a bittersweet one. Obviously, David and Rebecca didn't go back to life. They are still very much dead. But you know, to me, it's more of a happy ending. You know, I understand that most of you left with more tears than smiles. Like, there's a lot of clips of people just crying, dude. And hey, there is no shame in that. I don't think my chat noticed it, but on stream, I actually cried a little bit. A couple of times, silently, while I was contemplating life. But it was just because I couldn't take it anymore, you know? When you zoom into the picture 𝗖cie gave you, there is a line that says, "You didn't take me to the moon, but you were there with me." Man, that broke me. Pure emotional damage. I would rather get hit by a truck in Minecraft compared to this emotional nuclear bomb I am experiencing. Whenever they played this song, and unfortunately I can't play it on the video because it's gonna get copyrighted, the exact song from the anime and the game that everyone associates with psychological trauma, it got to a point where I was just yelling at my screen out of pure sadness. Bro, I'd be like, I hate this game. This game sucks. And I was just begging for it to leave me alone and give me a good ending. But honestly, if a game can evoke this much emotion out of me, I think that is the ultimate compliment to the writing. I mean, how could you remember it otherwise? You know what I'm saying? I would rather have this than bored out of my mind, just waiting for it to end, you know? But back to talking about my girl, Rebecca. She is actually the best part of this whole collaboration. Her personality is that of a chaotic gremlin, right? The way she greets David, she pointed a gun at his face. And the first time we meet her in game, she doesn't point a gun at our face, unfortunately, but she does point it at literally everything else, guns blazing, as she swears uncontrollably. Yeah!
Next time I see one, I'm blasting it!
There And well, I don't know what else to say. That is literally just who she is. The thing is, Rebecca is an absolute brand risk, right? But Kuro Games doesn't give a f. They didn't sanitize her for a wider audience. From the clothing to her personality, it feels like she got plucked out of the anime and put into the world exactly as she is. But as I said, the writing gets surprisingly deep with her as well. It is genuinely beautiful writing for a character who usually just yells and shoots things. It also leads to some of the funniest character interactions I have seen in a while. Rebecca is very much an extrovert, the kind of person that I don't think I could ever really completely relate to. The first character interaction between her and another playable character other than Rover is Lene. And oh my god, I don't know if it's their personalities, but they just clicked immediately. They are like besties at first sight. I don't know how else to explain it to you. It is just pure entertainment and lighthearted wholesomeness. Ah, Rover. So fucking Nova!
That's kind of hard to explain. Oh, actually, I was gonna ask. During the fight, I noticed the glow job on your gun. Is that like inspired by graffiti?
Spotted that, did ya?
Oh, look at her smile, bro.
Myself. Cream, right? Totally screams my style.
For sure. It's got your vibe all over it.
This is what I call good filler. Not all fillers are bad, guys, but 𝗖cie𝗽𝗆𝗆𝗵𝗁 is the absolute goat here because Rebecca just casually pulls out her Glock indoors in the middle of a conversation. And normally I would think that people would just start running, right? Screaming. But 𝗖cie𝗽𝗆𝗆𝗵𝗁 just looks at it completely unfazed and said, "Oh, nice gun, bro." It's hilarious. These devs clearly did a massive homework on the cyberpunk lore too. They didn't just throw around words like data shards, eddies, or brain dance, or whatever other jargon just to sound cool. They actually used them correctly and explained them very accurately. They legitimately will give you a chance to learn what these mean, so the people who are not familiar with the IP can actually keep up. Like for example, they gave you the textbook definition of a brain dance, or a BD, explaining it as a technology similar to a virtual reality that lets you experience another person's recorded memories. You sit there wondering how a dev team that doesn't live and breathe cyberpunk could get all of this so right. It is impressive is what I'm trying to say. Side note though, and you guys could disagree with me on this, but I am a huge fan of villains. A villain that is just straight up evil. That goes for the Grand Architect, and in this situation, Adam Smasher.
Not Adam Smasher. Bodyguard. Horse. Night City legend. Bleak motherfucking one too.
To me, he is easily one of my favorites in the series. When we were talking about the topic of cyberpsychosis, which is basically the violent mental breakdown humans get when they replace too much of their human parts with machinery, people were wondering how he is quite literally a walking machine without going mentally insane. Well, the reason is simple. Bro is just a psychopath, to the point where he had zero humanity left to lose. You can't go cyber psycho if you're already a psycho. But you know, throughout this whole collab, I think we also found out that Kuro Games might have an unlimited budget when it comes to Wuthering Waves, because it feels like they went completely overboard with the production values here. The cutscenes look great as per usual, absolute cinema, but in this collab, they play out like actual movie scenes. It is still absolute cinema, but with premium sofa seating and heavily buttered popcorn. They put so much effort into the basics, like completely modeling the characters and the enemies from scratch inside the engine. Even someone who serves as an NPC like David Martinez. It is crazy because I know for a fact other games would just give you a generic NPC and name him David Martinez to save a few bucks. I'm looking at you, caster. The environmental art is absolutely ridiculous as well. The Somnoir's interpretation of Night City is so beautiful. Even the assets from the random street food have extreme visual detail on them. There is so much wallpaper material from from the dialogues to the scenery you see on top of the apartments, the moon, oh my god, the moon, the visual transitions make it even better. You jump directly from cutscene to dialogue to gameplay so seamlessly. They even nailed the gameplay mechanics. Seeing Cyberpunk quick hacking grid interface pop up inside Wuthering Waves blew my mind. I didn't need to read the tutorial to solve this puzzle because I have played these games before. The attention to detail is wild. And my example for this is at one point, the Academy wanted to take a look and do a quick research on Rebecca's gun, so they could have a chance at fighting back against the Cyberpunk enemies if they were to attack again. Because at that moment, their normal attacks couldn't damage these enemies. Lucy lent Rebecca her gun so she would have some protection while she goes out. Because Lucy is going out with Rover, and Rover is very capable of protecting Lucy if anything were to ever go wrong. That is basically the dialogue, right? And to my surprise, they didn't just write it in the text box saying they did it. They actually did it. When you attack with Rebecca at that time, you can see that she is using Lucy's gun. Like what? It is an unprecedented level of attention to detail that leaves me absolutely baffled. Imagine the amount of people who didn't even attempt to attack with Rebecca here. Would people even notice it if they didn't actively look for it? They did it because they just assumed you would check. This almost left me speechless. What? I also have a bit of a hot take regarding the vehicles. The cars in the Night City area look exactly like the ones in the Cyberpunk universe. There are even ones that let you change the colors, working completely faithfully to the source material. But talking about the 𝗖់𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵 Kusanagi motorcycle that is in Lucy's and David's apartment, it actually looks better inside Wuthering Waves than it does in Cyberpunk. I don't know if it's the model itself or the lighting, but it actually just looks way more vibrant and crisp than it ever did driving around the actual Night City. Of course, you can't ride the 𝗖𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵 Kusanagi here in Wuthering Waves, but we have a way better motorcycle anyway, right? Who cares? And so we just feel like this is easily the best collaboration in the gacha game history. And notice how I said we, it's not just me, it's what the culture is feeling. Honestly, dude, I just don't feel like we deserve a game like this. Hey, we didn't deserve this collaboration. All of this for free? Oh my god, bro, it's all too good. Powell Sasko, the associate game director for CD Projekt Red, came out and said he has never seen a community response this insane. He has done plenty of big collaborations before, but he was completely floored by the depth and the quality of the artwork, the memes and the cosplay. He explicitly stated that Kuro Games and Wuthering Waves are truly blessed to have a player base this passionate. And the hard data backs him up too. The game didn't just do well, it smashed a brand new all-time peak Steam player counts, the highest number of simultaneous active users on the platform since its launch on Steam. It is currently topping the global Steam sale charts across the entire world. And guess what, guys? It turns out that when you actually respect the source material instead of saving cost and throwing together a lazy cash grab, everybody notices and you will get paid back for it. At the end of the day, there is a happy ending in Night City after all. Sure, Rebecca and David are still very much dead, but at the very least, Lucy and more importantly, the fans of Cyberpunk Edgerunners finally got the closure we all deserve. This entire event as a whole isn't just a successful patch for Kuro Games, it puts the game right at the top of the leaderboard. They prove that if you treat the source material with genuine respect through things like faithfully remaking their character models, keeping their personalities the same as they are in their world, and even connecting their lore with yours, the community will reward you on a global scale. The proof shows how the game literally smashed its all-time peak simultaneous player counts on Steam and topped the sales charts across the entire globe. Even the associate game director from the Cyberpunk side was completely floored by the reception. Of course, there are still some flaws, but they don't change the fact that Kuro Games just set a completely new standard for the rest of the industry. And for those of you who have watched this video this far, first of all, thank you very much. And I want to leave you with a question I always ask people who enjoyed Cyberpunk. What piece of cyberware would you get for yourself? Most people would say Kiroshi optics, meaning the advanced cybernetic eyeballs, right? Which are probably the safest option if you pay attention and know what they do. But to me, that is boring. I would go for the reinforced leg, and the knee implants. Super jumping over buildings and running and boosting super fast sounds cool. I would take the Sandevistan, but I don't think my mental state could handle it. Rambling aside, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with whoever you think might enjoy it as well. But that'll be all from me, 𝗖់𝗍 𝗖𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆